Howdy folks, I'm back out here at the fantastic Queensland Moto Park. Again, we're still here middle of winter, 20-degree day. Today we've got a great video. I'm doing a video on living with a Stark Varg, and not one Stark Varg, but two Stark Vargs. So I'm doing a video with Ash and Tony Blair. They have both been Stark owners for a few months. However, before we even start this video, we've got ourselves a bit of an issue. What's going on over here, mate?
New tyres for the day, and Mermaid tyre service done me the pleasure of putting a couple of new tyres on, and dead flat unfortunately, so before we get a chance to get on the bike.
Now Ash don't like doing tyre changes, so I put my hand up to do it for him so we can get riding. So we'll get this done, we'll get out on the track, talk to the boys about their bikes, why they bought them, whether they'll keep them, and what they think of riding them. So let's get the day underway. Hey, by the way, we don't travel with a tyre changer. QMP had that up here in the office.
Must be a bit wet that corner coming up to it.
All right, we just got off the track. Let's go and have a talk to the boys about their bikes.
Ashley Blair.
How long have you owned a Stark Varg for?
Probably about 3 or 4 months now.
What made you buy one?
My brother jumped on one, and he came back after the first ride and said, I'm never riding a petrol bike ever again. And I thought, after that comment, I got to try one.
And what were you riding before you bought the Stark?
YZF 450, a 24 model, which I loved.
And now 3 months down the road, how are you going with it?
It's a great bike. It's hard to fault in most areas. The maintenance is low. I haven't changed the tyres and chains and sprockets. Are lasting really well. I've done about 15 hours and I've only just changed the tyres. I don't know if it's the Pirellis or whether you're not going through the gears to actually get the stop and start sort of motion and wearing out tyres and changing sprockets a bit quicker, but that seems to be a big positive. Haven't any problems with spokes coming loose or anything like that, so that side of it, the maintenance has been great. There's no air filters to change. There's no, I've done the spokes once or twice and that's it. So that part of the bike's great. I tend to ride in the centre of my soles, feet, so I thought having the brakes on the handlebars, it might be good for technique, so that was another reason I tried the bike, which that seems to work all right. It was a bit weird getting used to the brake and clutch. When I was being on the rear brake being on the handlebar instead of the clutch. But when I say weird, it was really easy. The first time I rode it, I pretended I was on a mountain bike, and that was great. And then a few rides in, I seemed to be using it instead of a clutch. So coming out of a corner as I was flicking it and standing me up a little bit. So, but 10-15 hours in, I think I'm flowing a lot nicer on it, and it's quite good. So, so that's all great. Only downside I've got with the bike is the battery life. I think the bike would be perfect for someone who was riding a couple of times a month and older, but you know, I get a bit competitive and I get a bit try to push for 30-minute motos when I train, just in case I want to do a race down the track. No guarantees of that, but I find that I'm getting through 70 to 80% of a battery in one ride, which is my only downfall with the bike. And I found now that I'm getting a bit quicker, I'm 100 kilos. Now that I'm getting a bit quicker, it's wearing out faster, and I've got to wait too long between rides. And now the second ride, I'm not hanging around long enough to get the battery charged up enough. So having the battery as being your limiter is a bit annoying.
So frustrating?
It is very frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm considering going back to a YZF 450, to be honest. Yeah. As much as I love this bike, I don't want to be restricted on time due to battery life. You know,
would you keep both?
I'll probably keep both for the start. This time I sold my 450 a little bit too quick. I probably should have kept it. I tend to only ride one bike when I've had multiple bikes in the past, so for that reason I don't know how long it'll last for me to keep both. It's not a money factor, it's just I get used to riding one bike. I don't like swapping over with bikes at the track and jumping on different people's bikes, or I stick to mine, and I don't muck around with the suspension. Once it's set up and it's working, I adjust to it. So I'm not sure. I'd jump back on the 450 and just see how I feel after that to see if it makes a big difference or not, I suppose.
Cool. Thanks for that, Ash.
No worries.
Tony Blair.
How long have you owned your Stark for?
3 or 4 months.
How are you going with it?
Overall, I like it. Yeah, pretty happy with it. There's pros and cons to it, but yeah, I like it. Yeah.
What's that noise in the background?
And that's the irony of owning a Stark. It's nice and quiet on the track, but there's no serenity in the pits. Got a generator pumping away.
And what motivated you to buy a Stark?
For me, 2 things. I live on a small property, so I've got space for like a little practice technique track out in the backyard. So I wanted to be able to ride around there and not annoy the neighbours. So the quietness of the Stark was a big draw card. The other thing is it's a little easier to ride than a gas bike, just because the footwork is simpler, because you don't have to do anything with your feet really. So for someone like me who's been out of riding dirt bikes pretty much most of my adult life, it just makes it a little bit easier. So it's kind of good for older guys. That, and it's something a bit quirky, so it's a bit different. Like, it's got some tech and stuff, so I guess they were the attractions to it.
Yeah. Copped any shit riding it off anyone?
Yeah, lots.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yep.
At the track or just whereabouts?
Mainly mates
Right.
who find out that you've got an electric bike and they just, they pull the piss.
Oh wow, no, I never realised that. So, yeah. And are you electric through and through now? Do you think you'll stay with it or you'll mix it up a bit, or what will you do?
I think I'm going to stick with it. Battery life's a bit of an issue. It's not too bad for me because I'm relatively light, so like 73 kilograms, and I'm pretty slow, and I don't need to do a 30-minute moto. But the heavier guys, like my brother, they're struggling for power. So I can get like my 4 15-minute rides, which is kind of enough for me, and then I'm pretty much flat and need to charge it up. But like my brother will run out of juice in 30 to 35 minutes. So he's always running back and trying to charge it up.
And you've had a bit of a problem with the fork, just getting your fork setting right?
Yeah, so one of the downsides of buying the Stark here in Australia was just information and support from dealers. So I had a bit of an unlucky experience, I suppose. Like when I got the bike, the dealer told me that I could only order it for a certain weight, whereas Stark produced the bikes, you can order it to suit your body weight. The dealer told me that wasn't the case, so it came sprung for someone heavy, which is no big deal, but it was just meant that I had to go buy springs that I didn't have to go buy. And I've been playing around with the forks trying to get it so how I like it, and I haven't got there yet. I just find it really harsh in the mid-stroke, but I've been playing around with the valving myself and trying to get it right, but I might have to give up and take it to someone because it's just so time consuming. But yeah, that's not a big deal. That might happen with any bike. So
yeah. And your communication with Stark, has that all been good here?
No. So there was a couple of little, a minor thing with the bike, like the subframe had an issue, and that part of Stark Varg, they were awesome. They sent me a new subframe straight away. I really couldn't complain about that. But from the sales point of view, I can't get hold of those guys. So they have a referral rewards program. You get about €400 worth of parts that you can buy from the shop, which would be handy, and they promote that all the time, and every time you log on it's saying refer someone. When I bought it, I did refer my brother. He had a test ride. He went out and bought one a couple of weeks later, so that's what the program's for. So I did the submission to Stark, didn't get my referral reward, sent it again, no answer. Spoke to the dealer that I bought it from, he emailed them for me, still no answer. So the whole referral rewards program seems like a bit of a scam at this stage.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, mate, thanks for that. We'll see you back out on the track this Arvo.
No worries. Another good thing about the Stark Varg is the 2-year warranty. So pretty amazing on a motocross bike that they can give you a 2-year warranty. And if you want to, you can pay extra money and buy another 2 years. So you can get a 4-year warranty on a motocross bike, which to me just sounds crazy.
And you mentioned quality of the build.
Yeah, so it is well made. Yeah, just the finish of the parts, machining, it just looks high end. Yeah, it's well built, like good quality.
We've been sitting around for an hour now, and my charge is at 65%, and that's the most frustrating thing about owning a Stark Varg, is waiting around for it to charge up. And if I go now, I'm not going to get that full ride in like I got the first time.
And where's yours at?
About the same, 62%. So yeah, I'm waiting for a bit longer before I get another ride.
So there we go, another great day here at QMP. Husky was awesome today, so I had a good time on that. That was a pretty honest review on the Starks. That's the boys were very honest in their opinion on where they're at with their bikes. In regards to me, I have ridden a Stark. I rode one maybe 2 years ago. Jeff Leask brought 2 out here. I think they were pre-production models, and I had a ride on them then. Yeah, I was impressed. They were cool and interesting. Not enough excitement for me there to go, yeah, I'm going to go buy one. But I didn't ride these bikes today. I have actually reached out once before to Stark to do a video on their bike, and they kind of said there was no value in it if I didn't own the bike. So I went, okay, cool, we won't do that. This was an honest video of 2 guys that own their bikes, and I hope you enjoy this video. And I'll keep you up to date with what the boys end up doing, but I reckon Ash will be back on a 450 pretty soon. And I can just see his frustration today with the charging of the battery and the generator and sitting around and waiting, whereas you know, I just went down and chucked a couple more litres of fuel on my bike and off we went again. So anyways, they're nearly there. I think, you know, if they can sort that out with battery life and that, I think they'll have a product that a lot more people will be interested in. So yeah, cool. Enjoy the video. Hope you enjoyed that video. Catch you all soon.